And thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Matt Breen. Jessica Bowman is on assignment tonight. A wind turbine project near the Iowa Great Lakes would generate more than $140 million in tax revenue over 40 years, if it's completed. Not everyone is on board. KTIV's Matt Hoffman is continuing coverage of the Red Rock Wind Energy Center. He joins us tonight in studio. So, Matt, if the project would bring in so much tax revenue, why isn't everyone on board?
Yeah, Matt, for opponents, it basically boils down to this. Will the turbines irritate visitors, lowering tourism revenue? And will they be so much of an eyesore that home values are also impacted? And for every point the concerned citizens make, the energy company has a counterpoint. Invenergy, the parent company for the project, touts millions in tax revenue, hundreds of temporary jobs, and a sustainable energy future. But the Dickinson County Concerned Citizens, or DC3, worry about irritation, noise, and shadow flicker.
Forward to continuing the process next month with Dickinson County and ensuring that our project is the best that it can be.
We don't have shadow flicker on our property now. We should not have shadow flicker on our property because they're choosing to have a lease and put a wind turbine on their property.
The concerned citizens also wonder what will happen when the wind turbines become obsolete. They don't want to see abandoned turbines left if the parent company goes bankrupt. The company says the turbines are projected to last 40 years, at which time they'll all be removed or retrofitted with costs paid by the company.
You know, there's no protection for the landowner to know if this company would go bankrupt, if they have financial difficulties. Where is the protection of those landowners to ensure that they're not having to pay for that? And, the number of what does that cost to do that? I've seen anything from $400,000 to $700,000 per turbine.
Contained in our application a plan for decommissioning, including providing financial security for the communities in case, there is a need to decommission the site.
Invenergy says the project will feature 50 to 89 turbines, depending on the size and megawatt output. And the company hopes to start construction in July of 2024 with substantial completion in November of 25. Residents can voice their concern or support for the project at a Dickinson County Board of Adjustment meeting. That's on October 23rd at 6 p.m. And that meeting will be held inside the Dickinson County Courthouse.
Matt Hoffman for us in studio tonight. Matt, thank you.